Hello Transformers fans, and welcome back for part 2 of the Transform Dreamwave TCW-02 upgrade kit for Defensor. And I have gone and I have put the other leg on. Yeah, let me just say I didn't get as lucky with this two-leg extensions that I did with the Bruticus. Remember, both of these pegs did end up breaking. So, whereas, Bruticus, I only had the left leg that broke, and this one didn't seem to be glued in at all. Okay, so, as far as this goes, have a little something to show you when it comes down to the newest piece here. Now I did go and get one of these pieces already on, and if you give me just 1 second, I can actually show you how I done it. Okay, so unfortunately for this right here, in order to get these on, one, you have to spin the whole head and chest assembly right back around before transformation. And you do need to pop these chest pieces off in order to do this. And right here, this will explain why. Because when you put this down, those side pieces actually knock into these, and yeah, it definitely knocks into them. So you'll have a hard time getting this locked in all the way down with this already in place. But with these waist pieces here, there is a this is on a little slider right here. I can't tell by looking at the instructions why it's even on a slider, but it's on a that slider, which kind of acts like a metal mushroom peg, and then you have this hinge right here, and then you have this T-bar right here, which this is what's going to slide into this, and then you actually have to turn this piece, and this clip right over here is going to go right up over the side of this. And this, apparently, because I've done this a couple of times, just to set it out, is actually leaving some scuff marks on the plastic. And there's a couple other things I'm going to go over with you as soon as we get done this. But you're going to put it on this thing sideways, and then when you get it in the right spot on here, it's going to actually let you slide it. And then you're just going to push that up over the top, and you're going to slide it up out of the way. Move these down around to the sides. And that's when you can bring the whole chest and head assembly back around and actually continue the transformation for them. So, okay. So with that taken care of, we're going to pop his old head off. And we're going to take the new head, pop that in place, and remember, like, he's got a stogie. He's got a freaking stogie. which, yeah, that does look pretty freaking cool on my book. He's got the stogie. And one other thing before I get too far into this, it is easy to switch out the faces with this. And where did I put that other face? Oh, there it is. Okay, and you see this style is like the normal Defensor style with or without the stogie. So this had just kind of like soft pegs. With these little hinges right here, right up in these spots on either side of the head. And you remember this face right here from part 1, and then you just slide this right back down. And I'm not really too sure about it. You can't really see the eyes too well, but believe it or not, this actually makes it look more like a Japanese anime character right here. So if you notice that, okay, so that kind of looks like Japanese anime, and then you put this back in, and it's like, oh hey, it's like, we'll give you the totally American style. Butch with the blue sunglasses and the stogie hanging out of his mouth. I'm sorry, but I love this head with that stogie in there. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so with these, you're just gonna wanna flip back that. Okay, so these back panels will actually sit flush on his back. These in the front, yeah, there is going to be a gap. There's definitely going to be gap in there. But, alright, where did I, okay. See, here's the new chest piece right here. And, this, if you notice the pattern in here, like that, the two right up along the side right there, how it kind of matches this pattern right here. Yeah, you're just going to want to put this right up over the top, and you're not going to be able to slide it around. And then there are pegs under here, and then slots right here. You're going to want to make sure that you get like your finger right up underneath this, so you can get pressure in there, and that'll peg right in. Because it seems that if you try doing this without your finger up underneath there, they don't really want to go in place. But there we have the new chest piece, which is in the Unite Warriors blue. There's no denying that. Oh, I got these legs turned around the wrong way. Just the bottom parts. There we go. Okay. There we go. And the new crotch plate just slides right up in here. Now, these are kind of like a... Oop. Gotta get that up out of the way. Like a parts forming kind of thing. That you can pop them off. I mean, definitely this one I from the instructions looks like it can act as a weapon. This definitely does pop off to make it easier for transformation. So yeah, technically both of them are like a parts forming kind of deal now. And the only issue with the arms is now there is no place for the arms that I can see to be held in anywhere, because the old chest piece actually held these arms in. So then we got groove. Oh, and another something that I really didn't notice. I mean, I noticed it on the hands, but the feet weaponry is molded differently. It is kind of like a Gatling gun, but I mean, they do look a little bit more like blasters than they do the Gatlings on Bruticus. Alright. probably the only issue I have with this, other than the fact that I did attempt to put this into his alt mode or vehicle mode, and yeah, compared with the Bruticus set, where he actually looked pretty dang awesome in there, because the color differences didn't really matter all that different. Because the only thing is that with this kit, I will practically go right out there and, you know, like, recommend that if you're going to get this, because of the blue, if you are going to be transforming him and going to keep the vehicle in alt mode a few times, yeah, you are going to want to keep, or not keep, but get the Unite Warriors version of this, just because there is going to be a huge color difference in it. But here we go. You have Defensor and Bruticus with both their upgrade kits. And, I mean, he looks really freaking awesome, especially with that new head and stogie on there. He looks awesome, and like I said, I mean, the only piece plastic color you have to worry about is that one at the waist, which does break this whole setup for Bruticus. And it doesn't even really matter when he's in alt mode, because, I mean, you guys saw what he looked like in alt mode. It didn't, like, hinder or, you know, just make everything just, like, you know, that the colors clash. But I will, you know, go over very quick the alt mode transformation within the next, you know, 7 minutes here while I'm taking care of this. So, yeah, you're just going to want to pop that crotch plate back off. Undo the pegs, which sometimes these things can be a little bit difficult to undo because they do peg in quite securely. You're going to want to undo these side skirts, unfold them. Almost kind of wish that this was like a little bit more the way Bruticus was. That kind of like more simplified. Oop. Okay. That wasn't meant to happen. Okay. Pop this up. Bring one around. Oh, and he does have the same kind of like the same problem with the knees when he's transformed into Hotspot. The same thing that Onslaught had. The same problem Onslaught had. But I can also tell you that there is a slight problem when this guy is transformed, because now even for his alt mode, it seems like his legs are all like bowing out, and it just doesn't want to seem to you know, sit right. Even though these go in here down in here fine. The legs here, and okay, didn't mean to pop that whole side piece off. Oh, make sure that's turned all the way. I thought I had that turned all the way. Okay, let's just get this piece back on very quickly. Yeah, come on, there we go, okay, so that's back in. Just try to work those hinges so that way this thing slides down, and just like with Onslaught's leg, these are going to sit right down here in that slot, and they are not going to be flush. They are going to come down and sit. I wish they had been able to push up there a little bit further, but the backs clip in or peg in fine. Right back there, and then it's this front pieces right at the front of his vehicle mode. Then don't want to sit fine at all. So, I mean, if you can get the front pegged in, the back doesn't want to stay in place. If you get the back in, the front tries to like to come apart. And, yeah. It's pretty much the only issue that I even have with the legs on this character. I mean, granted, they're practically the same molding, but maybe they should have done a little bit of reconfiguring with the mold. Just a smidge. Okay. And then these waist pieces would actually come down and sit right in here. See, this is why I don't understand why these things, because I mean, if you do put these things up, I mean, it's just gonna be slid up just like a tiny little bit, just so that way there's clearance for the wheels, and that's it. So I mean, these things sit up along the side right there, and you know, they're you know, flipping and flopping around. And that sits back there. This sits up here. And apparently, according to the instructions here, because, I mean, the sides of his head don't even match up with the original portholes that are in the sides. So, I mean, they don't even go in. But apparently, his face sits out. Apparently his face with the stogie sits out in the front there. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take the crotch plate like this. And what was it? These sit up like this. And then yeah, I think that's wait a minute, is this the way they have that? No. Oh, no. Hold on. It might actually be like this. So that way the guns are facing out. But this peg just sits right into the top of his head. I mean, it doesn't hold securely, but I mean, but if it's just supposed to be for, you know, sitting on there as a collector piece. And then this chest piece you just fold up and it sits right back in the spot where it was before. And see, this is why I'm saying, if you don't mind this darker blue sitting up along on the sides like this, I mean, because the rest of it's not really a problem. See, I mean, that doesn't peg in all that securely, because that port technically on the top of his head is a little too big. But, I mean, this wouldn't be a problem, but... And these really aren't a problem right here, because, I mean, you mostly see the black with just, like, the trim when he's transformed, but it's really just this darker blue right up along the sides. And then, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a problem, much more, less of a problem if, for alt mode, you wanted to switch out the side pieces like that, so that way, you know, like, the middle of it is the darker blue, and then the rest of it is the lighter blue on the ends. But personally, I think that for at least for the Defensor upgrade, you might want to have the Unite Warriors kit for this guy. So that is part 2. Any questions or comments, you can always put them down below. And once again, thanks for watching.